Okay, so this week I am introducing OSINT, Open Source Intelligence, to my bootcamp students. So I wanted to write this quick blog about the subject, as well as recording this video demonstrating the tool and its techniques. So because in today's digital age, the vastness of the internet has given rise to the abundance of information, Google is the most widely used search engine. It holds the key to countless websites, documents, and data repositories. So while Google is designed to deliver relevant results to user queries, there is an entire subculture of ethical hackers and security researchers who exploit the power of Google and the search engine for legitimate and valuable purposes. This technique is known as Google Dorking. Some people call it Google hacking. So Google Dorking is also called Google hacking, as I mentioned. It's the art of the advanced search operations to fine-tune Google searches and uncover hidden, sensitive, or even confidential information on the internet. So contrary to its name, Google Dorking is not hacking at all in a conventional sense. Instead, it relies on leveraging specific search queries to access publicly available information that might not be easily accessible using standard Google searches. All right, from an ethics perspective, Google Dorking is not illegal or unethical. It does become problematic, though, when you have a malicious intent to exploit vulnerabilities, gain unauthorized access, or compromise sensitive data. So ethical hackers, security researchers, and cybersecurity professionals like ourselves use Google Dorking to identify potential security loopholes, assess our own online presence, and even help our organizations secure their data better. Okay, so let's talk about some of the search operators. One of them is the site operator, and it's used to search with any particular domain for a website. So let's start with site example.com. So this searches for anything or any sites with the domain and subdomain of example.com. We wanted to find any pages with passwords in it, which it's not going to find anymore already, where it only found one without even adding on the additional criteria. So we can see that there remained one, but let's try another one like facebook.com. Okay, so these are all the websites with facebook.com in the URL and related to the to password. So changing or resetting your password, forgot password, and so on. Okay, the next one is the file type. So let's search for files of type PDF and cybersecurity. This is going to find any PDF documents related to cybersecurity, including the whitehouse.gov, Federal Trade Commission, SEC, and so on. Now, do be careful. I recommend only running these types of searches and then clicking on the links in a lab environment, like on a Kali machine in a lab environment, because you don't know what some of these sites, we know that these sites are trustworthy, but you don't know what some other sites might end up doing when you click on them, like installing malware, ransomware, and so on. All right, the next one is in title. So this is going to search for any web pages with like login page in the title, not in the URL, but in the actual title of the page. All right, and then the next one in URL, this one does search the URL for particular terms. So we're going to search for admin in URL, 33 million results. So these are all pages with admin in them. So this is handy if you're searching for a particular site like facebook.com or some other organization, and we want to find admin pages for logging in. All right, facebook.com isn't a perfect example, but I also don't want to expose other organizations, that may have like some admin pages out there. We looked, okay, so the last one is the cache option. This will search a website that may no longer exist or could be down, something like that. And if you want to look at an older cached version of the website, and when you do that, like this page tells us that it was cached on 5/18/2023. So that's when this page was captured. All right, so let's talk about Google Dorking in action. So let's explore a hypothetical scenario where Google Dorking is used responsibly by a security professional. So think of Jane as a cybersecurity consultant hired by a financial institution to evaluate their online security. She starts by searching for sensitive information that may be inadvertently exposed, and you will find this for many organizations like S3 buckets, documents with usernames and passwords. There's a lot of schools and universities that I found password lists, which I don't use, in a nefarious way. I actually notify the organization that I found it so that they can remove it and even change all of the passwords, because who knows who else may have actually gotten a copy of it that shouldn't. But anyway, moving on with Jane working for this financial institution. Using Google Dorking, she searches for site bankexample.com and for any words with confidential or any pages with confidential. She discovers a page containing a confidential customer, their information, so Jane promptly notifies the bank's IT team, allowing them to secure the data to prevent any potential breaches. Let's go ahead and try that search real quick, though. Just see, interestingly, what it might come up with. Okay, so it didn't find, any bankexample.com. Example.com, I don't think it's going to find it. Yeah, I don't really want to search any legitimate organizations' websites because I don't want to expose anything in this video. One other thing I'd like to show you is, and I'll include this in the blog article that I'm writing for this. It's from hacker.io, and it is a cheat sheet PDF for quick references. So they go through and show you examples of all the different, because I only showed you like 4 or 5 Google Dorking commands. They'll show you a ton of other commands and what they'll do. And then the last thing is the Google hacking database. So these have the most common Dorking searches that are found on the net. Let's go ahead and search this one in title, index of past.txt. It's actually better, easier just to go into the page and then copy it from here. Just kind of giving me a difficult time trying to copy it from the link. Let's go ahead and paste this here and see what we find. So we found a whole bunch of these index pages with past.txt in them. Again, be careful clicking on these because they may contain payloads. That's why I'm not clicking on any of them, because I'm not actually in a secured lab environment right now. Let's take a look at maybe another 1 or 2 of these. This one is searching, I believe, all .org sites with /admin.aspx in the URL. And this is the last search that I'm going to do. You can see that there's a ton of examples there. All right, so these people, these organizations have admin pages on the internet out here. All right, so preventing Google Dorking exploits. To safeguard their websites and sensitive information from Google Dorking exploits, individuals and organizations can take several measures. Number one, they can use the robots.txt file to tell the search engines which part of the website are allowed to crawl, ensuring that sensitive directories are disallowed in the robots.txt, and this will limit access to your critical data. That's not perfect though, because not all search spiders actually honor the robots.txt. They go ahead and just search everything. You can also implement strong access controls, ensuring that the right controls and sufficient controls are in place to prevent unauthorized users from accessing sensitive data. Regular security assessments are another thing, so conducting routine security assessments to identify vulnerabilities and address them promptly. And finally, educate your employees, train them about the potential risks of sharing sensitive information online, and make them aware of the best practices. So in conclusion, Google Dorking is a powerful tool that can be used for both good and malicious purposes. In the hands of ethical hackers and cybersecurity professionals, Google Dorking can help identify security weaknesses, prevent data breaches, and enhance overall online security. I actually like to use it, so if someone in my organization did accidentally expose like an S3 bucket with any data, or especially sensitive data, I would rather know about it ahead of time than hackers find out about it. So it is essential or to remember that the responsibility lies with our users to employ Google Dorking responsibly and ethically to protect both their interests and those of others in the digital realm. All right, thank you very much for listening, and stay tuned on my blog. I'll be sharing insights weekly with you about various different security tools, techniques, and things to be concerned about in our industry.